President Biden has just given his COVID update plan 6-point approach, a 6-pronged attack for the COVID situation. I felt scared and intimidated and angry. I felt angry after it. The words, the chosen words, the tone of voice. I just listened to audio, no visual. But he came out, first couple of lines is, "You fellow Americans, I know, because you are, and I am frustrated with the unvaxxed. They have failed to do their part. You are doing the right thing." I don't understand where this idea that the more pressure and difficulty and strain you put on people, the more excited they could ever become to get on board. For all intensive purposes, everything he just said is probably going to make people more resistant to it. If I would imagine that people that haven't chosen to do so yet wouldn't decide to do it now, they are probably going to stand their ground even harder. And you may actually fail in getting more people to get second shots and boosters. President Biden, I think that what you just said is going to turn people away from this. I think that you're working on sticking a nail in the coffin on something, buddy. And I think that your plan is gonna backfire. I think you've got a proven track record of that. I'm not a president. I don't know. Requiring the Department of Labor and all employees of a small business of 100 or more employees to require proof of vaccination and or mandatory biweekly testing. And then at the very end of the statement, talking about the financial recovery, is that these same small businesses could be offered up to $2 million of stimulus benefit payout, unforgivable loans for 2 years, something like that. So he's going to squeeze the middle of the market. Any company that is of that 100 people size is a decent sized company, but it's not really big. It's not a mom and pop. Actually, it still could be a mom and pop. And I think that's just going to put strain and stress on the mid-size small businesses and start to make it harder for them to maintain their employees, have competent employees, and it's going to befall onto someone else just because of their medical status, not because of their skills. Realizing going forward that the employment market is going to be dominated by people willing to subject themselves to authoritarianism in obedience, blind faith in the system, which will actually degrade the mental capacity over time because you've got sheep herd mentality, right? Those that have any dissent or personal agenda of their own or believes in President Biden did not. He was not impressed that people want their freedom. He even said freedom and liberty is not a good excuse. Yeah. The idea that this vax is as safe as possible, which is actually currently the vaccine they claim is not quite as proficient in securing your health and safety as the Delta variant is struggling that. And by all intents and purposes, if the vaccine has not been modified and is not updated for the new variants, then anyone who's actually getting vaccinated is getting old technology. So this is like getting everyone old school, awesome Nokias before flip phones. Okay? Think about that. It's not new cutting edge variants in the vaccine. It's old vaccine struggling to keep up with new variants. The vax is as safe as possible. He kept repeating, keep you safe. I want to keep you safe. As if it's, and he did say that as president, it is his job to keep Americans safe. I don't think so. I don't think we hired a president to keep us safe. We are not a bunch of toddlers in a nanny state. A couple 100 million people might be, though. 80 million, 25% strong, are able to think or at least resist the bully in the pulpit. The new vax, not the new vax, the old vax with boosters offer even more protection. One didn't do it. Two aren't doing it. Lucky number 3 should be all you need until next spring or winter. And that the boosters will offer the highest level of protection yet. Imagine your salesperson coming out and being like, well, we were hoping for 1, but 2 were kind of looking pretty good for the most part. And then, geez, you're probably going to need 3, and we think it's going to give you the best protection yet. That's difficult. That would sound like a really unconfident, uninspiring salesperson. I don't think I'd be buying. Talking about kids safe and schools open. This one hits hard because I'm a parent, and after this last calendar year and school closing and the ups and downs and the online, and then a whole most calendar year of a new online system, and then the end of school going in person, but my kids never saw their teacher's face. Never saw another kid smile. Wasn't allowed to eat at school. Going into that again this year, we honestly said no. We said no to that. I'm all set. My kids are going to grow up really smart. They're going to grow up capable and polite. And I am so excited about that. To the school system out there, I wish you the best. We will get back involved. We are not gone forever. I'm not anti-school, not anti-education. I just don't want my kids subjected to what I have already seen in the first week of school opening here in Portland, Oregon. He wanted to ease my worry about kids in school. I understand that kids go to school and that kids are going to get sick, and kids are going to get lice, and kids are going to get bumps, and kids are going to get scratches, and kids even break their bones. These things happen to kids. But making it a condition to become a laboratory rat and confined and segregated and separated and forced into behavior that's not normal, that does not ease my worry. That actually made me way more scared. We went then Sir Biden got into talking about the political divide in the country and how there one particular view, if you are heavily into the system and you support it and you are a part of it, which is awesome, I have been for most of my life, then he will do everything he can to undermine anyone that's against him. And the way that he said it was not against him, but he wanted the general populace and the powers that be, or the governmental bodies, to be aware that if you chose to not go along with the narrative then all actions possible will be taken against you. We know around the world that almost 20 of the world leaders who said no to the whole vaccine narrative, to the whole COVID narrative, do your history, do your research, look it up. It's not fake. It's not a conspiracy. Most every single country that said no to this whole COVID narrative, that world leader was dead. What happened? They all died. No other world leader that went along with the narrative died. He said that he wants you out of the way. Why would someone say that? That is not what a world leader says. I want my public opponents out of the way. That is mean. More testing, more masking. At home, rapid test kits on sale for 1 month only in select marketplaces, targeting minorities, targeting color, targeting low and struggling. I am sure that many people struggling in the FEMA disaster zones right now are going to be forced into the jab just to get the basic staples to stay alive from their government. And he wanted to end very much so saying that there will be a new pandemic. There's going to be something new. There's going to be another one, as it will in the next few months. Us against them. New pandemic, as it will in the next few months. The highlight at the end was truth and science and confidence together. The entire speech was about dividing the room between those people that have gone with the narrative and those that are slightly resistant or questioning it. Basically, if you are vaxxed, you are good. If you are unvaxxed, you are bad. Why do the vaxxed care? If you're protected, what does it matter? The Taliban aren't protected. Their world leaders ain't dying. They just took us over. They ain't got no COVID problem over there in the Taliban. Most of the equator going around the world, tons of Africa are doing fine with this. Any country that's a part of the IMF monetary system seems to be struggling. The bigger countries that are more in debt seem to be struggling even more. We're adding all of this on top of supply chain shortages, massive droughts, horrendous floodings and hurricanes, wildfires out the ass. We'll add a couple of wintertime epics this upcoming season. Grocery stores are getting low on food. Ships are sunk off the coast. Trade is falling apart. Truckies are going on strike. And if enough truckies go on strike, it's actually going to backfire because it's going to cut off so much supplies that an emergency declaration is going to get put in place. Therefore, the UN can step in and help. Is that where we're going this winter? In Oregon, we're already masked up. Fucking stupid. Masked up outside. Stupid. I can fart and smell it. And COVID is smaller than a fart. Wildfire smoke is bigger than the COVID thing. And I can smell that through my masks. Yes, COVID exists. Yes, there is a respiratory distress system out there that is affecting lots of people around the world. Yes, my mother just had 3 of her good friends die before they were able to get the second shot. When we lower down the IQ in math, we can easily not count anymore, so we don't have to worry about what things add up to in life. 1 plus 1 does not always have to equal 3. It can equal -1 at some point. Sir Biden's speeches are getting more and more unpresidential. Much so more a dictatorship. Gone is the fun, happy-go-lucky Joe. The aging guy may be on the way out. If they do decide to retire him and Kamala steps in, then we'll see things ramp up pretty damn quick with a whole lot more energy behind things. I'm ready to go and leave. I'm ready to be done with this. I'm scared by where my country's going. I don't understand. My family is disowning me. I have to be careful what I say in public. I know that I stare at people when they are driving by themselves in their car with the windows rolled up, wearing a mask. I am so ready to drop out of the world and bring my 3 daughters with me. And in another couple of years, we'll resurface and see what the world looks like and the dystopian future that is going to be beset upon everyone is currently a nightmare in the making, and it's happening day by day. Look, open your eyes. Think of how you feel inside when you walk around. You're not happy. You're scared. People are living in fear. And anyone that is offering anything in opposition of fear, anybody that's offering a different kind of hope that is not the norm, that is not the narrative, is shut down, squashed, deplatformed, ridiculed, and shamed, as opposed to it being an open debate and conversation. It is not. It is judgment being passed and harsh words being said and forcing people away. That's not what a good president does. A good president doesn't force people away. A good president will be nice and open up and be accepting. This speech was the opposite. This speech was pure blame and fear-mongering. Blame and fear-mongering. He specifically said, us against them. Portland Prepper out. I can't do much more of this anymore. I'm going crazy. This is a struggle. To everyone out there who is brave and strong, you're wonderful. You're doing great. May your days be long and your news feeds be short and sweet.